everybody to mute. Yeah, and answer your question, everything changes all the time. If you don't, you're either on the bus or you're under the bus. So we're going to be doing a recording here. So just want everybody to know if you would kindly mute your microphones. We're not going to have any discussions or answer any questions. It's not a hands-on. This is a recorded session. The nice thing is you'll be able to go back to the recording and play it over and over again. You can go from one slide to the next, stop it, practice it on your laptop, then go back to it and get more information and follow it through. I think it'll be better for you and for those. So I'm going to go through it very quickly. I'm going to try to get you out of here within a short period of time because I know that everybody's time is valuable. So the product that we're talking about is Moxi Engage. And when you're growing your business, it's all about who you know and what you know. To launch and sustain a career that lasts. And you know that in this kind of a market, that's going to be even more and more important because once this cycle changes, right now we're in the bottom, I think in the bottom of this cycle. Once we start to get out of this cycle, things are really going to pop. And if you don't have your ducks lined up and you're not in contact with the right people, you're not in touch with your base or your SOI, you're probably going to lose them because there's going to be a lot of competition out there for buyers and sellers. Agents are going to get into bidding wars, literally bidding wars for getting buyers and sellers, especially buyers now with NAR settlement terms. So just be careful of that and be aware of that. So what is the Moxi Engage? What is it? What does it do? What does it look like? How do we start? We're going to watch a training video and get more training. So that's kind of the agenda for today in a nutshell. Training session is 5/6/25, and we're going to get started with that right now. Let's talk about the sales cycle for just a minute. It starts off with lead generation. Everything starts off with lead generation, right? Your SOI, everything that we do starts off with lead generation. And these are the tools that we have to help us do that. Moxi Engage, Moxi websites, and the Moxi Impress. Those are our base tools for lead generation. Then there's lead nurturing. What does that mean? That means the leads that you do have, you want to constantly be in touch with them, right? And if you have 100 leads and you want to touch bases with them at least once a month, right? So if you just divide that up, the 100 by 30, you're going to be contacting about 3 people a day. If you're going to work 3 days a week, you can start dividing that out so that, the amount of time that you're on the phone contacting your leads is kind of limited maybe to just 2 or 3 days a week. But you definitely want to keep in contact with those people that are in your SOI, your sphere of influence on a regular basis. Lead conversion, that's a term which really means taking them from that stage where they're just out there and you're dripping on them, you're nurturing them, taking them from that to actually converting them into what? Into a deal, right? I mean, after all, that's kind of the main goal, right? You're either nurturing for a listing or you're nurturing for a sell. Those are the two things that you guys have available to you to make money, is working with buyers and working with sellers. Once we get them into an active client, we also want to keep in touch with them on a regular basis. And when you have your listing, if you don't keep in touch with that listing, especially in a down market, if you don't keep in touch with them, someone else will. And when your listing expires, which most listings are expiring in this, down cycle, they're going to be calling up someone else, or someone else is going to be calling them, trying to get the listing if you have not been in touch with them constantly. Right. And of course, the best product that we have to achieve that is ListTrack. If you're not using ListTrack and you have listings, you're probably going to lose that listing if you don't get it sold within the listing period of time. Once you get into escrow, it's even more important to keep in touch with your clients, keep them updated. There's tools for that through Moxi Engage. And then on your post-closing, that's probably the most important thing, or most important part of Moxi Engage, is that post-closing. After you close escrow, the most important thing you can do is keep in touch with that either a buyer, right? And you can also keep in touch with sellers. Even if they've moved out of the city or out of the country or whatever, they still have friends, family, and neighbors left behind that they can refer you to, right? So don't think that once your listing is gone or moved to New York, that they're gone out of your sphere of influence. Matter of fact, that they probably should be one of your most important people in your sphere of influence, right? Because they can refer you to their neighbor, their relative, friend, friend, family, neighbors. That's the name of the game when it comes to SOI. So that post-closing is just as important as the pre-closing, especially for buyers, because we all know that every buyer within a 5-year period is most likely going to sell, right? I mean, that's just, even though they think they're going to live there forever, most of us buy a home for 5 years and then either move up, move down, or get transferred out. And then remember, there's the DDTs, death, divorce, and transfer. One way or the other, most people live in a house for about 5 years. You got to recognize that. You got to realize that so that you can take advantage of that, keeping in touch with them. Let's move on to an introduction about Moxi Engage.
In this video, we will be going over the simple steps to getting started with Moxi Engage. Connecting your email to Moxi Engage, setting your goals, staying in flow with your people by staying in flow on your dashboard, setting up your touch points for neighborhood news.
Can we hear it on?
What do you want?
Play it.
Listing announcements.
Oh, I don't know if they're hearing it
on.
Can you go check this soon?
Moving through the sales flow, setting up all of your preferences, and organizing your people. In upcoming videos, we will be going through each of these items in more detail. When you first access Moxi Engage, you will be given information about the upcoming setup screens. You'll need to sync your email account and set up your gross commission goal for the year. In some cases, you may also have an option to migrate data from an existing CRM. Choose Continue to get started. On this screen, you can choose your email account provider to initiate the sync of your contacts and calendar events with Moxi Engage. In my case, my company-provided email is through Office 365. If I select that option, the sync will begin right away. Or I can choose Gmail, which will then let me sign in to my personal free Gmail account. Let's select Gmail and then choose Continue. We'll sign into our Gmail account. And then provide access for MoxiWorks to our contacts and calendar. Once you have connected your email to Moxi Engage, you will be asked to enter in your first goal. This will either be your gross commission income or sales volume goal, depending on the setting requested by your brokerage. You must enter in a goal to continue. However, you can change this goal at any time. Staying in flow with your people. Now that you've connected your email to Moxi Engage, you'll be able to start working with and staying in flow with all of those people that know, like, and trust you. Moxi Engage methodology recommends connecting with your sphere of influence on a regular basis so that you stay top of mind with your people. From the dashboard, Engage will display 5 people each day for you to connect with. Select how you want to connect with each person from the drop-down menu. Either mail a personal note, call, email them, or sign them up for the Neighborhood News monthly market snapshot email. You can also customize which people to display and how often you'd like to see their name in this section. Touch points. Next, you'll want to set up additional touch points that allow you to stay in flow with your people without waiting for their name to show up on your dashboard. Touch points include the monthly neighborhood market snapshot email subscription, the just sold or just listed email announcements, where you can pre-subscribe those people you wish to receive this information and then send the emails when you choose. And connect with your people on their special dates, like their birthday, anniversary, or house anniversary, by adding these dates to your calendar and setting up reminders. You can also subscribe your people to email campaigns. These collections of emails are created by your brokerage and can be sent on specific days of the year, like a holiday campaign, or on a time sequence of your choosing. Moving your people through the sales flow. Moxi Engage helps you do the right thing at the right time by providing a task list for each portion of the life of a transaction. Moving your people through the sales flow not only keeps your transaction on track, but also helps Moxi Engage provide insight on achieving the goal you set. Add a transaction to a person and then mark tasks as complete. Add them to your calendar. Or delete tasks that don't work for this specific transaction. When the zone is completed, move the transaction to the next zone. Marketing is the zone that most of your people will be in and reminds you to keep in flow with them. Prospects hold all of the tasks for people who are looking to buy or sell in the next 6 to 12 months. Actives are for the part of the transaction where you are actively working with your person, setting up staging and hiring the photographer, or if they are a buyer, finding, viewing, and making an offer on properties. Pending is the last zone of the life of your transaction, when you have a mutually agreed upon buyer-seller contract. You can have more than one transaction going for a person at a time, and the task list can be customized for each transaction, or the master task list can be curated to match how you work as an agent. Setting up your preferences. To make the task list fit how you work as an agent, you'll want to access the task manager before moving anyone through the sales flow. Choose either the marketing plan or sales plans to start updating. You can remove a task, add a task, or change the timing of when a task is due. Additional settings in your preferences panel include setting up how and if you want to automate your first communication with the lead, update your default message to your people on their special date, as well as set up reminders for their special day approaching, choose your notification settings, and grab your neighborhood news sign-up link that you can post to social media so your people can sign themselves up for the monthly email. Organizing your people. Now that you've seen the top things you can do in Moxi Engage, it's time to organize your people so you can start connecting with them and moving their transactions through the sales flow. On the My People screen, you'll find the Categorize wizard. This section allows you to quickly organize where your people should go and engage. You'll be presented with 6 people at a time. Simply answer the questions as they pop up. Is this person a current or potential client, or are they not a client at all? If a client, are you currently working with them as a buyer or seller, or marketing to them? If marketing to them, one more question will be asked to find out if they have ever been a client in the past. Choose one of these options and create your plan. If your person is not a client, but a family member or friend, or even another agent or vendor you work with, mark them as non-client and then select personal or collaborator. You have now seen the simple steps to getting started with Moxi Engage. We've connected with your email, set our goal, stayed in flow with our people, move them through the sales flow, set up our preferences, and organize our people.
Okay, so I know that that was a lot of information, and but if you go back to this when you get the recording and then do it piece by piece, play a little bit, practice that, stop it, then go to the next part, stop that, then go to the next part. You will get through this. Matter of fact, we're going to practice that. We're going to do exactly that step by step right here. We're going to go through it right now. So first step, what we're going to do is we're going to log into Moxi Engage. Okay. And we're going to
Yeah, next next line.
So we're going to click on the dashboard, and this will show your goals, activity, listing, sales, and other pertinent information. Okay, let's check to make sure that you have your contacts migrated. And again, if you bring them all in at once, you would simply go to wherever you have them, export them to an Excel spreadsheet or as a CSV file, retrieve that. And then you can see Janice if you don't have the formatted template. If you do have the formatted template, you can just drop them right into that, and then you can upload them or import them into the system, and all your contacts will be right there. You can also do them one by one, the old-fashioned way, right? But if you have hundreds, it's going to be really difficult. Which you have hundreds. I know I have 7,000. So you're not going to take 7,000 leads and put them in one by one. So that's why you want to import them, right? You can also set up your interactive calendar for scheduling the money-making activities. Use the goals to compare activity to productivity. So you can gauge where you are in terms of meeting your goals. If you don't have goals, you'll never get to the finish line, right? You can use campaigns for e-blasts, neighborhood news, listing announcements, and email campaigns. And we're actually going to do that setup in just a minute. We're going to actually walk right through it and do it. So let's try it. We're going to go to here. I'm going to click on here. And I've got to change the screen real quickly.
Okay, let's go to we're gonna stop sharing first.
Yeah, we have to stop sharing now. We have to change the way the meeting is set up for a moment to get out into a browser. Okay, let's set up a new share. Okay, can everybody see that on the screen? We have
Hold on.
you get down to click on Moxi Works. And if you give Moxi Works a few seconds to load, the programs will come up. And you want, when they do load, you want to choose engage.
I can't see the screen. All right.
So we're on
I cannot see it on
there's Moxi Works here.
hold on. I have to duplicate so they can see it here. Okay.
Okay. So we're going to click on Moxi Works.
Mhm.
Okay, and then give that just a minute, and all of your programs will load up on top. Present, Engage, My Website, and Impress. You guys are familiar with that. You're going to click on Engage. Nothing ever goes smoothly when you're doing it live. So where'd it go? Yeah. We have really high-speed internet here too. Okay, so we're going to start off. We're going to go to people and we're going to add someone. Okay, this is the way of doing it one by one. But if you were going to be doing it, you can do, like I said, download, or import all of your contacts at once if you have them in a CSV file format. So we're just for practice, though, we're going to start with Sam. Let's put Mr. Sam Proctor in. Oops, that's his last name, huh? Okay, and we're going to put in a phone number for him. I'm going to put his phone number in, we'll put mine in. And we're going to put in my email address. Right. Okay, and then of course we would fill out the rest of the information as well. Once we're finished with that, we're going to click on done. Okay, then you're going to, the option that you want to choose initially is, this is not a non-client because it's not a family member. It's not one of our service members, right? It's not one of our service providers. So we're going to make them a client. So we're going to click on client. Okay. So did you want to create a marketing plan? Do you want to make them a seller prospect or a buyer prospect? In this case, we're going to make Mr. Proctor a buyer prospect. Click on buyer prospect. Okay. Once we make him a buyer prospect, then we're going to have that list that she was showing you, all the activities that you can assign to him as a buyer prospect. The things that we definitely want to do above and beyond anything else. And if you don't, I'm not going to go into all the details, but if you don't do anything else, a couple of things that you want to do. So he is a buyer. So you want to click on faves and saves. Okay. There's nothing saved yet. We're going to create a search. And this is just like your MLS going into Prospector and setting up a search in Prospector. We're going to set them up in Tracy, California, because that's where he's looking, and he wants to buy something in the range of 600,000 to 700,000. Okay, and he wants a 4-bedroom, right? And he wants at least 2 bathrooms. Okay, so we're going to apply that. Okay, and then his search is going to come up. You can change that or rearrange it. You can add another search. You can add Tracy, Lathrop, Manteca, whatever city that you want. Just a real simple search. The differences between the MetroList search and this is going to be branded for you. It's going to bring him into your realm, into your website, as opposed to generic that he's going to be getting from anybody else who's trying to work with him, right? Personalized. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and save and send that to Mr. Proctor. And would you like to subscribe him to Neighborhood News? It's going to ask you, instead of you having to go in and do that manually, it's going to say, do you want to subscribe him to Neighborhood News? So I'm going to say yes. Okay, and what that'll do is that will keep him abreast of everything that comes available on the market, goes pending, gets sold, gets withdrawn, right? Okay, so that's basically it for a buyer. You would do the same thing for a seller, except what would you do for a seller differently? You create a seller's presentation, right? A marketing presentation, which includes a CMA. It's not like a CMA you're going to go pull off the shelf off of MetroList. It's a marketing plan, right? Different. When you open up presentations, it'll give you the option. Is this a buyer or is it a seller? You're going to click on create presentation, choose buyer in this case, and then set up a buyer presentation. You're going to choose the listings that you want to go show him, create a buyer tour. If it was a seller, we would choose seller presentation. We would pull in all of the comparables that we want to use, and then we would also create our marketing plan based on that particular client or seller. And those are pretty much the options. The system asked me if I wanted to set up a subscription for him, and I said yes. So let's do it manually, just in case you want to see what that looks like. We did set up neighborhood news, but let's say I want to set it up again. So they want to know, is you want to just do a quick one? I'm going to say, yeah, well, he's looking at Tracy, so we're going to set up a quick one for that. If I wanted it to be a targeted, this will send out a templated email unless you customize it. If I want to send out a custom targeted search, so for example, he's really looking in 95377, so I'm going to choose 95377, and that's going to give him more of a targeted search. So those are the changes, the differences, and this is going to give him the neighborhood news for those particular markets, those particular zip codes. And then finally, we want to set, close that out. We want to set him up, Mr. Proctor, up as a group, and the group that we want to put him, this particular client in, is a buyer. Now we can put him in multiple different groups. Let's put him in as a tenant needs to buy. Okay. Whatever group you set up, you can put them into multiple groups. You can put them as a buyer and a seller, put them up as a past client, set them up as in your tenant group. Whatever group you decide to put them in, remember that the groups that you have, you're going to use those to predetermine what campaigns go out to what groups as a group instead of individually. And so that's pretty much it. We've got Mr. Sam Proctor set up. We've got him into the system. We've identified him. We've identified the steps that we're going to take and the dates that we're going to be sending him things, the scheduled meet and greet, a conduct meet and greet. We can go in and adjust each one of those, change it, add to it. We can even add additional activities. And when we go to activities over here, that's going to show all the things that we did already. We set up a neighborhood news for Mr. Proctor. We actually set it up twice. We set up a search and key active dates, activity dates, and then we put him in as a buyer, entered him as a buyer. And that's pretty much all I want to show you right now, because if you can get through that and then start building on each one of your prospects or each one of your contacts, then as you build on that, you'll be able to branch off and do other things. But go back to the video content that I'm going to be sending to you. And again, watch one portion, stop it, go practice it, then come back, go to the next, practice that, then go back, go to the next. If you keep doing that, you'll eventually be a master of this and be able to master this yourself. But for right now, I just wanted you to be able to get into the system, know where it is, know what to do. And Janice, can you get us back into our presentation? Again, it's just a matter of either bringing in all of your clients, right? And then going through and identifying each one and setting them up individually, right? Or if you have maybe 2 or 3 new people that you met this week, go in and set them up. But they're either a buyer or a seller, right? I mean, that's pretty much all we work with, really. With buyers and sellers, I mean, that's what we do. So,
Quick question.
yeah.
When you're talking about making the presentation and with the current comps and everything and your value proposition, does it take your value proposition that you already have in Moxi Works and integrate
Yes.
that and then put the, okay,
Yes.
so I just want to make
Nice,
sure
huh?
that I'll integrate.
I didn't want to get
If we
too
need
far
to
out
do-
onto these
if we
things
needed to
because
do
it gets,
again, or-
yeah.
well, hopefully we
Yeah.
all have that all set
Right.
up. but-
Yeah,
Okay,
you can
sorry.
see how many
Yeah.
different little
Yeah,
Pandora's box you
Didn't-
open up and you
didn't
got
want a
all
rabbit
these
hole.
little, it's like falling into a rabbit hole.
Yeah.
Oh my God, which way do I go? They're go left, or go right, to go up, go down.
Just want to make sure. Thanks.
But I'd rather have people just understand. Now, just as a couple of learning opportunities, I put on here about 6 different learning opportunities for this particular product that we're talking about, which is the Moxi Engage. And I think Janice is trying to get us back to that point so you can see it on the screen. Can you bear with us for just a second? Okay, right there. That's the online, I think, isn't it? There you go.
Yeah, that's just,
Okay, can you see that on the screen there? Okay, so here, when you get to this part of the screen, or this part of this slide in the presentation, you can click on these to take more hands-on training. These are more direct trainings. You have to sign up for them. So why prospect? Again, in review, to build a client base, a strong client base is a successful client base and a productive client base, right? Generate leads. You can generate leads by communicating effectively with your SOI, your sphere of influence. If you can't communicate effectively with them, you're never going to grow exponentially in your client base and your transactions, because other agents are doing this and they're doing it very succinctly. And they're adding on to it and doing it more and more and more and more. Market knowledge, obviously that's extremely important. And then the ultimate goal is to build relationships with your SOI and to maintain those relationships. Remember the stats and the numbers from, not from us, but from CAR and NAR, 70% of agents don't follow up on just their sales. When they close the deal, a buyer, they don't follow up with that buyer. And when that buyer goes to sell their house, because they will within 5 years, when they go to sell it, they're not going back to the agent that sold it to them because they never kept in touch with them. They're not going to remember they don't even remember your name after 5 years. They won't even remember the name of the company they used. Most people aren't the same. So again, here's the Moxi Engage drip campaigns options, sellers, buyers, new listings, recently sold, move meter, holidays, Real Vitalize, which is a tremendously successful advertising marketing tool. It's not used a lot because a lot of people don't want to use it, but it's a tremendous marketing tool. When you can incorporate this and pull it right off the shelf in your listing presentations that you were talking about going into. Yeah, you can just pull that right off the shelf as a page and enter that right into your marketing. Yep. Very, very, very successful marketing tool, though.
In fact, I think we did that.
Yeah, yeah. And of course, Boost is a product that's on your platform there. It's one of the icons. It is a paid thing. It's just like you're buying, you can either buy it through this Boost, you can buy it on MetroList Boost, whatever program, it's all the same. Just get a better deal, better package using the Coldwell Banker discount.
This for you? This Boost for you?
Advertises it.
Advertising, marketing, yeah.
they're listing.
Yep. So remember, agents who use these tools have dramatically increased their sales. If you don't know how to use them, you won't benefit from that increase in your income, guaranteed. So anyway, I wanted to keep this short and sweet. A reminder again, please watch the video. That's really, really important. Segment it, stop, listen, watch a segment, stop, go practice, go to the next segment until you learn how to use each one of the segments. You will not be successful at this unless you learn each segment, what to do, how to do it. Okay, well, thank you very much for sitting through this, and sorry about all the interruptions there. You guys have a great day and a productive day. Take care.